Okay, we see our first well, not our first Montana, but only about our second or third today. We have another KIBB, Summers and Shimakaze running the destroyers. They've been very heavily represented, probably because of the lack of carriers. Smolensk, of course, have we actually had a... No, we have had a team without a Smolensk. We're looking at one from the KittyBootBombers here. Pair of Des Moines, a Stalingrad, 3 radars on the red side, and not a bad selection on the other. So let's run out and see what the teams do. Which team is going to successfully evade the trap? Okay, so starting on the gent side, Darian Stark and Morma moving out towards point A. The Shimakaze of Hedge Sahal taking advantage of the speed and blowing an engine boost on top in an effort to make a fast dash up towards point C. He's got the Des Moines of Preglav 11 and ex-Hulzak 1990 Smolensk providing some support there, while Stanton Warrior is just ambling forwards and having a quick little look at point B. After all, if he can play disruption there and attract some attention, either flank or both might be able to take advantage. Meanwhile, over on the Kitty side, Lord Shepherd having a look at point B as well. So he will win the race in because he is the quicker destroyer. Maybe he is slightly further to go, and it doesn't really matter because he and Stanton will deadlock each other almost immediately. Captain Koth taking advantage of the KIBB's speed, and yep, doing the full 55 knots max chat in order to get to point C early. Interestingly, heavy units on Kitty's side don't seem to be going for immediate backup, and in fact, Stanton got into the point first, but Lord Shepherd blocked him a few seconds later. So we have Burgoyne, Venezia, and Hindenburg taking what looks like the slow road to A, but could very easily turn out to be nothing of the kind. And Lord Shepherd is actually breaking out of B, so Stanton can potentially hold the cap there, except Stanton has also exited B, so that remains deadlocked for at least as long as it takes Stanton Warrior to stand on the brakes, reverse his engines, and just wriggle back into point B for a textbook King of the Sea reverse cap. Shepherd also making a turn, although not as much as I thought he would. I don't know if they're just rejecting B entirely and trying to put a flanking torpedo strike on the approach to A, or even just get some spotting data in. But, well, they're sacrificing an early advantage there. On the other hand, well, Captain Koth made good use of the KIBB's speed, grabs the first cap, and a few early points to beat Hedge Sahai into point C, and he's now wriggling out to the northeast. Of course, Hedge might be able to wriggle into C and jam it, but he has just denied that approach. Remember, neither team's really had contact with the other just yet, so everyone's kind of playing blind man's buff at the moment. Stanton's managed to finish the cap, so 1 point all unlocked, with the Des Moines of Darian Stark starting a slow cap of point B. Tight up against the island, nicely covered on the side, and while he hasn't managed to make a turn, he is in a pretty solid position. With that 27mm bow, you're going to need 16-inch guns to overmatch him, although admittedly any hit will disrupt, but he's going to get no real incoming, and yeah, there we go, cap secure, and the Shimakaze of Hedge Sahai taking the cap out from under Captain Toth. Kibben's heavy units are perhaps being a little slow to get engaged, although both sides are taking it very, very cautiously at the moment. Neither really wants to be the first one to get blindsided. Point 3 goes to Gents. Now, at this point, it doesn't really matter what Kibben wanted to do. They have got to grab a control point back. Time is not on their side. 5 minutes until the Gents take a score win. So we're starting to see shells get traded. Battle Eye takes some early high explosive and eats a fire to his stern, starts breaking away and turning port to readjust. But he's going to have to either turn that into starboard rudder, and there he goes. His alternative was, after all, having to take his guns out of the fight for the best part of a minute and a half. However, that does leave him making a starboard turn up to the north and not really in a good position because, I'm wondering how they intend to get into point C. They've got plenty of defensive positions locked here. Semi-fighter, Black Catty, Yadachi DD, all of them in great defensive cruiser positions, but none of them are actually in point C. So point C is still scoring for the Gents. Similarly, down at point A, again, good defensive positions. They're trading shots, they're doing damage, but nobody's locking a point. And point B is just abandoned. If you squint, you can probably see the tumbleweeds rolling across the caldera. So, I think we might see the push in C coming from Colonel 4260. Yep, there it is. He's going tight to the island in a similar fashion to Darien, dumping some torpedoes just for suppression, and then moving in to lock point A. But with the Smolensk of Wyoming in there as well, and throwing shells every which way, but it's only a deadlock. It's not a cap flip. So 10 minutes and 9 until the score hits 1,000. And Mwoma actually pushes out. I don't know if his smoke is about to start expiring and he's thinking he needs to be somewhere else before an angry Burgoyne stroke Venezia combo takes brutal revenge for that. Not sure what happened. I think the Republic landed a couple of citadels, and Shotgun is burning as well. He's got the engine smoke going to conceal him. He's got a repair party trying to contain that fire, but where's his Damcon? I think that fire is basically going to cost him his repair party, leave him where he was. Cap flips for KIBB, but I wonder if they're paying too high a price there. They've also managed to get into point A. And they've taken moderate damage, but it's relatively spread out. Yadachi DD, bow in, ducks into cover. Captain Toth flipping it as best he can. And interestingly, Hedge Sahai suspects where he is because he's dumped torpedoes along the most likely approach vectors. But Toth is, well, he's in a Kleber. He's busy being somewhere else. With the end consequence being that point C is slowly falling. Of course, that will start to switch the pressure. Gents are 50,000 health up. They are 300 points up. But the Kittens will be able to flip that round if Toth can finish his cap. And at this point, oh, hang on a second. I think Hedge has got into the control point. Yes, Hedge has got in and is jamming the control point. And more to the point, if he backs up another kilometre or so, he might acquire visual on Captain Toth, which will immediately make people realise what's going on. Cap is locked at about 60% green, so 0 score there. It is essentially 1 cap each. Okay, Stanton Warriors come around the flank at point A, and he has managed to drop torpedoes. So 12 in the water. Colonel 4260's come off the island. Julieri is backing up. Still nobody has died yet, but Shotgun is taking repeated hits. They're trying to get a fire on him. Shotgun's got his second repair party in play, but both he and Julia are in the Summers torpedo track. But they were safely out of range, so both the Burgoyne and the Venezia ducking safely away. Whether they think they can start to turn back, well, they don't have a lot of choice. Shotgun just hit the map border, so he is going to have to turn back. So, torpedoes in the water. Also looks like the Shimakaze was trying to clear this control point. Now, fish in the water targeting both Darien and Mwoma. M's got the rudder on, but he's not going to dodge that one. Takes a solid hit to the side, dumps his smoke on reflex, and commences turning. Darien also turning, getting the warning, and manages to torpedo beat. But the Hindenburg of Colonel 4260 fired into the smoke, lands the hit, kills the Smolensk. We have first blood, ladies and gentlemen. And second blood as well. Yodachi goes down to Trigav's Des Moines, and Gents have managed to secure points A and C again. Point B is now flipping. Captain Tolth doing another fast sprint to the south, grabbing a relatively unopposed cap of point B, but he's had to abandon C. And once again, Kittens have got this problem. They need to get into the other control points in an effort to start flipping stuff, but with only 2 destroyers and Shepard pinned down on the south, their options in C are extremely limited because it's basically no man's land. Anyone moving into point C at this point is going to get brutally crossfired by Trigans, Freunham, Surhai, Zodrak, and the Smolensk of ex-Kulzak. So Tolth does the reasonable thing and doesn't even try. Runs south, grabs B, turns it into a 1-all jam. Point A gets flipped back, but Colonel 4260 barrels in and once again seems to be on a mission to save the day for his team. Charges in point A, locks it down, and would be having a pretty good go at killing Darian Stark if it hadn't been for the smoke from Stanton Warrior acting as a shroud. Now, at this point, Darian has had to back off. Stanton's outside the cap circle as well. 4260 is capping, but he's taking a lot of damage in the process. He's also got backup from the Burgoyne of Julia Ray, and while Lootman is at the back, providing fire support as well, we'll see. He's got a decent angle on the Colonel. Shots come down again. Colonel takes another few thousand, but he's got the bow in. And if memory serves, Republique 15s or 16s. I think Republique's got 16.5, if I'm honest. But, well, it doesn't matter because the Colonel just went broadside, trying to get all 12 of his guns into play. Now, has he been spotted with that salvo? That's the key thing. Torps in the water, second salvo of Hayek's. Oh, yes, he was spotted. Shot went slightly long. Takes a few points of damage, but not much. Darian's pushing forwards and might get some German fish in the process. Nope, stands on the brakes, mostly thanks to the angry Burgoyne that's coming his way. But let's be honest here, standing on the brakes is not going to help him. Darian goes down, and the Kittens complete their charge into A. But again, they've paid a high price for this. Julia Ree losing about 2/3 health. Lootman is slightly better off, but is not swapping rounds there. He's trying to take out the Hindenburg of Colonel 420. And Battle Eye goes down to the north. Battle Eye goes down, takes out the Montana, and suddenly Kibben's blocking position to the north is looking very shaky. Semi-fighter there, trying to slug it out with the Des Moines, but that auto-loader is doing him no favors. Triglav hammering away with the armor-piercing, looking for the upper works, and I think he's going to do it. Oh dear, 991 next salvo is probably going to be the end of Semi-fighter. Boom, down goes the Moskva. It's now just the Des Moines. It's just Black Catty trying to hold this down. And he's got an angry Ohio in front of him and a Smolensk busy, what can I say, landscaping the artifact to his right. So another 18-inch shell whizzes in. Black Catty's looking for cover, but he really has got nothing to work with. Zodrak Black goes down to the southeast, but Triglav's come round the corner. Black Catty has nowhere to go, and it is the Ohio that does the eliminating this time. But Kleber, Captain Toth, gets almost caught out by the Shimikaze's torpedoes. Hedgesarai was probably hoping beyond hope there, because let's face it, if he can't kill that Kleber, the best he can do is nothing. Game over. Who took that win? I suspect it was not the Kitties. Indeed. Gents take the win.